Welcome to me and my uncle.
NFL Weekly Rundown, Week 7. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another show. Danny, are you ready? We both did very well last week. There weren't a lot of upsets at all.
Good.
You won 12 games and lost 2.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. I won 12 games, lost 2. And we beat Grandpa. He won 11 games and lost 3.
Good.
So on the season,
Wait, which ones did we get wrong?
the ones you got wrong last week. Oh, and I meant to tell you, exact score. Indianapolis
Did I?
Colts 20, Titans 17. Yes, you got one. The ones you missed, the Thursday night game, you picked Seattle and San Francisco won.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you went with Jaden Daniels, so that was one of your big upsets.
Oh, yeah.
And they played pretty good, but Lamar Jackson got it done. The ones I lost, because I picked with my heart, I missed the Cardinals. They got blasted by the Packers. And then I went with Bo Nix to beat the Chargers, and the Chargers got it done, even in Denver. So on the season, you have 43 wins. I have 44 wins. So we are still neck and neck, just real close. Against the point spread, though, you are still 11 wins ahead of me. So you're crushing me against the point spread. Couple teams have a bye week this week. The Bears have a bye.
Mm-hmm.
I am feeling so happy.
Playing the Commanders.
Commanders at 3 o'clock.
Which is going to be...
That's going to be a hard game, but it's going to be a good game. And I like that the Bears did what they were supposed to do against Carolina, and they did what they were supposed to do against Jacksonville. They just wasted 2 bad teams. Now they get to come back, the flight from London. They get to kind of chill for a week, not play, just watch the other games like we get to do.
Probably going to watch the Commanders to see how good they do.
Yeah,
because they're going to be playing them.
I know. It'll be interesting, and the coaches will be paying attention to what Washington's doing. So, yeah, it's good to have a bye week because you just kind of get to rest and get some guys healthy. The Bears did get a little dinged up in the secondary. 3 of their top 5 guys either missed last game or got hurt during it. So they got to get healthy in the secondary. So we're feeling good as Bears fans at 4-2, right? Mm-hmm. Can you imagine how the other team's fans who has a bye this week feel? Dallas, coming off of a 47-9 loss against Detroit.
Yeah, that was.
Oof.
Was that in Dallas?
Yes.
Then fans must have been leaving in like the second. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the worst home loss Dallas had since 1988 when they lost 3-43 to your Minnesota Vikings. So, yeah, the one other thing I wanted to say about the Bears is it is the first time in almost 70 years since they have scored 5 offensive touchdowns in back-to-back games.
Whoa.
1956 was the last time the Bears scored 5 offensive touchdowns in games in a row. So
that's good.
It's good to score 5 offensive touchdowns in 2 games in a row, but wow, 70 years between that happening? Oh, Bears. It's good that they got it out of the way, and I like where they're at right now. Your guy Cole Kmet, did you see he had to come in?
Good.
He did great. He scored 2 touchdowns, and he had to fill in for the long snapper who got hurt.
Yeah, my dad told me.
So that was really cool because usually the guy who long snaps, that's all he does. He doesn't catch passes. He doesn't tackle guys. He just snaps the ball between his legs on punts and field goals. So the fact that Cole Kmet, he did that, and he did it pretty flawlessly. He got named Special Teams Player of the Week in the NFC this week, just for filling in and being a long snapper.
That's good.
Yeah, because usually that would go to, excuse me, it would go to either a kicker or a punter or a return guy who maybe scores a touchdown. But to give it to the long snapper, that might be the first time it's ever happened. You know, he only gets to practice a little bit on Thursday practicing long snaps. So the fact that he just came in with very little practice and did it so well, that was pretty good. So, that's what I've got to say about the Bears and your guy Cole Kmet, who's starting to come around on your fantasy team. Okay, Thursday night, let's start week 7 with a bang. There are a lot of close games this week, so we could have some differences.
Broncos and Saints.
Yeah, Sean Payton, the Broncos head coach, used to coach the Saints, and he won a Super Bowl with the Saints. So he's kind of going back to where his head coaching career started. The Saints won their first 2 games. Now they've lost 4 in a row. And they got blasted by Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a battle of rookie quarterbacks because Denver starts Bo Nix. And the Saints, for a second game in a row, are going to start Spencer Rattler, who was a guy who at Oklahoma actually started. Caleb Williams took Spencer Rattler's job when they played together at Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen in the Thursday night contest?
Well, it's at New Orleans, right?
It is in New Orleans, the Superdome, yeah?
I have kind of a surprise.
Okay.
I'm picking Broncos 17-10.
Okay. I think the Broncos are actually favored in this game, only because Bo Nix was a first-round pick, and the guy starting for the Saints, Spencer Rattler, was like a 5th-round pick or a 4th-round pick.
Well, it says New Orleans favored by 1.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I had Denver by 1.5. You're right. You're right then. I'll have to change that a little bit. You know what? Those spreads can change a little bit, because one day you might look at it and it'll say Denver by 1.5, and then all of a sudden a bunch of guys on the Saints are hurt or something, and then it'll go Denver by 4. You know, I'm surprised it changed that much because I heard the Saints have 2 wide receivers are hurt. One might miss the season. You're going with the Broncos. I'm going with the Saints. We're different right out of the bat.
That's what I thought would happen.
Yeah, I don't trust Bo Nix, and I don't really like Spencer Rattler. I don't think he's very good. But it's a home game. I think the Saints are going to want to beat their old coach. I'm going to go close, 19-17, New Orleans. Okay, there's another game in London here for the 3rd straight week. So this will be another one at 8:30 a.m.
Patriots, Jaguars.
Ugh. What an ugly looking game, huh? Both teams have 1 win and 5 losses. New England won their game week 1 and now have lost 5 in a row. Oof. Drake May was okay. I think he had 2 interceptions and a fumble that he lost, which that's not good. But he did have some touchdown passes. This is the Jags' 2nd straight game in London, so they didn't even fly home after the game like the Bears did. They just stayed in a hotel in London.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is going to happen in this, what looks like a pretty boring London game?
Another boring surprise.
Oh.
I'm going with the Patriots.
Well.
27-20.
You are going with some upsets. I think it's going to be close. We know neither team is good. I'm going Jags 20, Patriots 19. So we're different on 2 games already, and we've only said 2 games. There are 7 games at noon. First one kind of looks like a bit of a blowout.
Titans and Bills.
Yeah. Did you see any of the Bills game on Monday night against the Jets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Josh Allen looked pretty good. They stopped a 2-game losing streak by beating the Jets and are now in first place. I think they've got at least a 2-game lead. Well, yeah, they've got 2 wins more then the Dolphins and the Jets, and they beat both those teams. So the Bills are in pretty good shape in the AFC East. And after the game, they traded for Amari Cooper. He was the Browns' best receiver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they got a little better at wide receiver. Remember we were thinking about, oh, if the Titans start Mason Rudolph, I might want to change my pick to the Titans, but they started Will Levis, and go figure they lost, because they seem to lose games when Will Levis starts. Will Levis is going to start this game against Buffalo.
Okay.
So what do you think is going to happen here? In front of the Bills Mafia, those crazy fans.
I don't have a really big blowout, but it's a
Okay.
10-point win.
Well, that covers the spread then.
I have the Bills 27-17.
Okay. I'm going to go Bills 23. Oh, something caught in my throat. Bills 23 and Titans 10. Okay, so we're the same on that one, but that one was pretty obvious, right? Okay. What's next? And will you say their name?
Texans and you know.
Texans and the Green Bay Packers. Boo. Both teams won by 3 scores in week 6, so they won easily. The Texans, who did they beat? Texans crushed New England and Drake May.
Oh yeah.
And the Packers really beat up Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. It's like 34-13. No Nico Collins for the Texans, no problem. You know, they still put up 41 points against the Patriots. Jordan Love, you know, they've lost a couple games that he started. He has 12 touchdowns since, you know, he's missed some time there when Malik Willis played for them. But he's thrown 6 interceptions, which is kind of a high number. So he's kind of turning the ball over a little, but the Packers are winning. So it's in Green Bay. The Packers are a small favorite. I think I know what you're going to pick in this one, but maybe you'll surprise me.
I'm picking the Texans if that's what you thought I was gonna pick.
That's what I thought you were going to pick.
37-20.
So a real high scoring game. Okay. I've got a pretty high scoring game. I'm going to have it a little closer. I think Houston is going to get it done. I think Texans win 26-24.
If you're looking for really big scores, I have a really big one.
Really?
Well, not really big, but it's.
I'm interested. That's
Yeah.
something to look forward to. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out which game you're even thinking about. But, okay, so we picked Houston and Green Bay. Or we did, yes. What's next?
Eagles, Giants.
Right. The Eagles, this is kind of funny. They escaped against Cleveland. They won 20-16. I don't know if you saw, but the Eagles coach was like yelling at fans after the game. Philly fans, Eagle fans. Their coach was
Why?
yelling at them because the fans were booing the Eagles the whole game because they weren't crushing Cleveland. So this Nick Sirianni guy was like, you know, looking at them at the end of the game when they were taking kneels like, you know, who's booing now? Not a real good look, and I think he apologized after the game. So, you know, it was weird. It's odd to see the coach getting into it with the fans like that. Malik Neighbors for the Giants. He missed the game again. Their star wide receiver, their rookie, against Cincinnati, and they only scored 7 points against the Bengals. They really need Malik Neighbors back to be a legitimate offense.
Well, I'm glad the Bengals won again.
Yeah, they got a nice win. I see we'll talk about them pretty soon, but yeah, they got back on the winning track, and they needed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because 2-4 is a lot better than being 1-5. But getting back to this NFC East clash, this is also Saquon Barkley's return to the Giants. Remember, he played for the Giants earlier in his career. Now he's an Eagle. What do you see going down on Sunday?
I think I'm going to be the same with you.
I bet we will be.
I'm picking Eagles.
That's my pick too.
Same score as last time. I'm picking Eagles 37, Giants 20.
Oh, you like that score this week. Okay. You got a big score, 17 points. I'm going to go Philly, still covering 3.5 point spread. I got Philly 20, Giants 16, which I think is what they beat Cleveland by last week. So fans might be booing again. We'll see. Oh boy. Big game in the NFC North.
I don't know what to think about this game.
Yeah.
Lions Vikings.
Yeah, what do you think about this? I mean, the Lions were the favorite.
I have a pretty close game.
Okay. Detroit, like we said when we talked about the Cowboys, they just destroyed Dallas. And they were having fun doing it. Did you see they were trying to lateral the big offensive linemen to try to get them touchdowns? They were trying to throw passes.
I remember that.
Yeah, just a huge guy with the ball.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I think there was a penalty on the play where he was he got the ball and he was like, what's going on? Because that never happens. So they were just messing with the Cowboys.
I remember that happened in the Vikings game last year when they were just throwing it to
Lateraling, yeah.
defensive or offensive linemen, and the time ran out, and then the coach the ref blew the whistle, but they just kept on doing it.
See, it's usually plays at the end of the game when a team is losing, when they're just throwing the ball all over the place. So it was weird for Detroit to be doing it when they were just blowing the Cowboys out. It was kind of funny, just rubbing it in their face.
Yeah.
While the Vikings were on bye, the other three teams in the division just got a little closer to them in the standings because they all won. Lions, Bears, and Packers all won in just blowouts. So yeah, you were saying you don't know what to think about this one. It's hard. Detroit, Aiden Hutchinson, who led the league in sacks, he broke his leg, and he's out for the year. I mean, the coach is saying he might come back for the Super Bowl if they get there. That's a huge loss for Detroit. But it does, yeah. I don't know if that'll change your pick. This game is at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. So, boy, what are your thoughts about the game? Just tell me, who's going to be the star? Is it Goff? Is it Amon-Ra? Is it going to be Jefferson?
I think the ball's gonna be thrown back and forth, getting touchdowns. But I think the Vikings will get it done.
Oh.
27-21.
That's a good game. Vikings are 2.5 point favorites. You know how I feel about the Vikings. You know, I just can't really pick them. And I go back to, I think the Lions were the favorite at the beginning of the season, right? They were the team that was supposed to win the division. So that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. I know the Vikings have a better record right now.
But you're picking Lions.
I'm picking Lions 27, Vikings 26. So I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Okay, here is a game.
I have a pretty close score, but first I'll tell the game.
Teams, yeah.
Seahawks and Falcons.
So this is a long flight for the Seahawks in the Northwest United States to have to fly all the way to the Southeast to play the Atlanta Falcons. Especially at noon, because usually the Seahawks, if they're the home team, they're playing a 3 o'clock game. So this is an early start for Seattle. Seahawks came out of the gate, won 3 games against lousy teams. Now they've lost 3 straight. And they've played better teams. They lost to Detroit and San Francisco. Atlanta. They passed for 500 yards and beat Tampa Bay. Then they show that they can run the ball. They ran for 200 yards last week against the lowly Panthers. So they're showing, hey, we can do it with Cousins. Or if Cousins isn't really getting it done, we'll just feed Bijan Robinson, feed Tyler Algier, and run the ball.
Like for that game where they threw 500 yards, that's like Kirk Cousins throwing the ball all the way across the field 5 times.
Yeah, from the goal line to the other goal line.
Yeah.
So
That's
In
really
one
good.
game. In one game,
That's
yeah.
really
That's a lot of yards. So you said you've got kind of a close game. I've got Falcons
Well,
favored by 3.
not kind of a close game, a really close game.
Oh, really close game. Okay.
I have the Seahawks 21-20.
Ooh, barn burner. All right. Well, this might be like the 4th or 5th. I think the 4th game that we're different on.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with the home team in a real back and forth offensive showdown. We'll go Kirk Cousins and the Falcons 34, Geno Smith and the Seahawks 30.
That's another good game.
Yeah, I don't think either team's gonna play a lot of defense in that one.
Now, here's a game that's, hate to say it, but kind of boring.
Kind of boring, but you've got a rooting interest in it, so.
Bengals Browns.
Yeah, half your gritty shirt is involved in this game. So it was ugly against the Giants, 17-7. But the Bengals got a much needed win, right?
Yeah.
And did you see Joe Burrow had like a 50-yard touchdown run?
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just he dropped back to pass, but then ran to his right.
That was good for my fantasy team.
Yeah, I didn't know Burrow had those kind of wheels, but I think it was the longest touchdown run all time for a quarterback of the Bengals. So, longer run than Ken Anderson, longer run than Boomer Esiason ever had. So, impressive. For the Browns, 1-5, and the coach, he's asked every week, is Deshaun Watson still your quarterback? And he says yes, no matter what. They have a pretty good backup. Jameis Winston is their backup. He has started games for the Buccaneers and probably for the Saints too in his career. So why they stick with Watson, I don't know. Maybe it's the owner just saying, hey coach, we gave this guy a sack of money. He's going to, earn it. But he's not earning it now. I bet we're going to be the same on this one because I can't imagine you're picking against Joe Burrow in this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another high-scoring game. Not for one team. Bengals 37, Browns 20.
Okay. Well, 20's okay, but if you give up 37, it's not okay. I'm going to go Bengals covering the 5.5 point spread. We'll say 24 for Cincinnati, 17 for the Browns. And we're kind of running out of games to figure out who your big score is. So I'm interested to see
More games left until
we see it. Okay, well, exciting. What is the last of the noon games?
Dolphins, Colts.
Yeah, the Dolphins are coming off their bye week, and Tua's still out, but they're saying he's going to come back this year. Because, the Dolphins were my Super Bowl pick. That looks pretty dumb right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
you can call it dumb. It's okay. The Colts beat Tennessee. They won a road game in the division without Anthony Richardson and without Jonathan Taylor. Richardson, it sounded like, was going to practice today. Taylor is more kind of like a little more iffy as to whether he'll play. So Colts favored by, I think, 3.5. It's in Indy. What do you think about this one? Can the Cheetah get it done without Tua?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so either.
I'm picking Colts 27-20.
I got Colts. I think it's going to be close, but I'll go Colts 17, Dolphins 14. Bayla's going to smile at us.
Okay.
Okay. The first of the 3 o'clock games, and there are 3 of them.
This looks like a good game for one of them.
I think I know who.
Commanders, Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina in 6 games have been outscored by 100 points. So that's like an average of about 16 or 17 points that they're losing by every single game. That's the worst in the NFL.
Last year, this probably would have been a pretty good game.
Last year?
Yeah.
Close.
Because the Commanders were
bad, right? So they would match up pretty well against Carolina.
But now with Jaden Daniels, Commanders are getting it done.
Except they didn't against Baltimore. Baltimore did
yeah.
stop their 4-game winning streak. But think about it. Washington was one of the worst teams in the
They
league
would
last year.
probably be 1-5.
Without Daniels. Without Daniels, yeah. It'd be hard to see them winning a lot of games without him, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they played Baltimore pretty close. So it's hard playing Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in Baltimore. But Washington, they look pretty good. So I'm going to say I am 99.9% sure that we are on the same team for this one.
I'm 99% sure that we're on the same.
Well, who is it?
Commanders.
Yes.
I'm guessing you would have thought that.
Yes.
31-14.
I'm pretty close to your score. I'm going Commanders 35, Carolina Panthers 17. Okay, second of the 3 o'clock games.
Raiders, Rams.
Yeah, Vegas. The first 5 games they started Gardner Minshew. Then they switched to Aiden O'Connell, and he started against the Steelers, and they got crushed 32-13. I think they're sticking with this O'Connell guy. The Rams, Kupp, he might be back. Puka's not going to be back.
No matter what.
Not this week, at least. Kupp might be back for this game.
Which would be a pretty good upgrade.
It'd be huge for Stafford and the Rams offense. The Raiders, they probably traded one of their best players, Devontae Adams. They traded him to the Jets.
He's on the Jets. He should be on a better team.
I know. Well, you know what? He used to be teammates with their awful quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, when they played in Green Bay together. So I think Rodgers told the owner, you know what? We'd be a lot better if we traded for Devontae Adams. And the owner did it. So Vegas and the Rams, these teams aren't exactly lighting the league on fire this year.
I'm feeling that score that I'm feeling good about this week.
Yeah.
Rams, because of Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp, yeah. Let's hope he plays.
37-20.
Okay. Well, I like what you're thinking here. I've also got the Rams covering the spread. I'll go Rams 24, Vegas Raiders 17. We must be getting closer and closer to the big score.
Oh, we're here right now.
We're here? Good. And what about this game?
Rematch of the Super Bowl, Chiefs 49ers.
That's exactly, you should see what my note says. It says rematch of Super Bowl 58. You read my mind, so I don't even have to say that. Andy Reid is the Chiefs coach.
Yeah.
He coached Philadelphia before he got to Kansas City, but he's been a head coach for, I think, 25 years, okay? His record after the Chiefs have a bye week, 21 wins, 4 losses. Andy Reid, when he's the head coach, he just, something during the bye week, he knows exactly what to do. And they play well after a bye. San Francisco started shaky, but beat Seattle. Now they're in first place, even sitting at 3-3. So not a great record, but I think they are in first place in the NFC West. You must have a lot to say about this game.
No.
No?
Well, even without Christian McCaffrey, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Interesting. Okay.
Chiefs 47.
Woo!
49ers 40.
47-40 Chiefs.
So 87 points this game.
Wow.
I think.
And the people that make the betting, they think that there was only going to be 46.5 points in this game. So you're going almost.
And it says San Francisco is going to is favored by 1.
And I had by 1.5, so pretty close. The way I look at this game is you can't pick against the Chiefs until they lose, right? That's sort of the way that I see this one. So I'm going to go Chiefs 24, 49ers 23.
So not as high of a game as I.
Not as high of a game, but I think I'd prefer if you're right. I like the idea of watching those teams just go back and forth and scoring a bunch of points. Here's the Sunday night game.
Jets, Steelers.
Okay, the Jets lost to Buffalo, and then the next day traded for Devontae Adams. So they knew they needed something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to make them the best team even in their division? Do you think
No
they're
way.
better than the Bills?
No.
No.
No way.
So do you think it'll even make them make the playoffs in the AFC East? Or in the AFC?
I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like just a desperation trade.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Pittsburgh they beat the Raiders by 19 points on Sunday. The coach is thinking about playing Russell Wilson. Why would you take out Justin Fields if you're 4-2? Why do you mess with a good thing?
Yeah.
Just seems dumb to me. So I don't know what to think. I think this line went from Steelers favored by 1.5 to now I think the Jets are actually favored by 1.5. What does yours say? Yours says Pittsburgh by 2.5.
Yeah.
So it's all over the place. It probably after they traded for Devontae Adams, it's tilted towards the Jets. What do you like? What do you see happening here?
TJ Watt sacking a lot.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers got sacked so much by Buffalo.
I hope Aaron Rodgers is gonna get beat up in this game.
Yes.
So I'm picking Steelers.
Yeah.
Getting the ball a lot and scoring 37 points. 14.
Okay, not 37-20. Not your go-to this week. Okay. I like where your head is. I'm going to go Steelers 20 and Jets 16, but I really wish they would play Fields instead. It's better for the Bears. The Bears get a better draft choice if Fields starts 3 more games. 2 Monday night games again. Remember we went, I think, 2 weeks with 2 Monday night games, and then last week it was normal, just 1. Now we're back to 2. What's the first of them?
Ravens, Bucks.
And this one looks like the better of the 2 Monday night games.
This is a pretty good. What's the other one?
Yeah. The Ravens are hot. After an 0-2 start, everybody's thinking, what's wrong with the Ravens? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong with the Ravens. They're 4-2 now.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good, and they're tied with the Steelers for first place in their division. Tampa, Baker Mayfield, their quarterback, passing and running, he has 17 touchdowns through 6 games. So that's almost 3 a game. That's getting it done as a quarterback. He's playing well. So the Ravens do have to travel to Tampa Bay for this game. But the Ravens are favored. So you think your Super Bowl team is going to get another W?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Ravens 37. Buccaneers 21.
Okay. I've got, you said 27-21?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 6 point.
37.
37-21. Okay. I've got Ravens 30 and Buccaneers 24. Okay, if you get your mom's attention, just give her a 1 that we have 1 game left. And this game is a weird one. It's only on ESPN Plus, which is something you have to pay for extra for streaming.
Oh.
So what is it? I don't think I'm gonna pay for it either.
Yeah. Chargers Cardinals.
If it was a Bears game, I would pay for ESPN Plus in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But when it's Chargers Cardinals, it sounds like it's just a game I'm gonna skip instead. The Chargers won at Denver, so they're now 3-2. And, playing okay. The Cardinals, again, I just don't know what the Cardinals are. I picked them to lose, and they beat the Rams. I picked them to win, and they beat, they get crushed by Green Bay. So, I don't know. neither of these teams seem like they're very good. It is in Arizona. So, what do you feel?
I'm picking Chargers.
Nope, our final difference is the last game.
37-20.
I'm gonna take the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna believe in Kyler Murray for no real reason.
Gordon.
Kyler Gordon's a bear. Oops. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals will win 24-20. Or I think they will. How about I won't say it with as much confidence. I think they will win.
Okay. Well,
So that's week 7. That's our rundown. That Vikings Lions game looks like a real treat to
probably
watch.
the best game of the week.
Well, don't forget about Chiefs Niners
Oh.
at
Super Bowl
rematch. Yeah. So, does your mom see us? How about we do the Caleb Williams? And thanks for watching. Right, we're gonna thank our viewers. We had 100 views and 11 likes. I don't know where they came from, people, but we like it.
A bunch more robots.
Robots, yeah. I don't know. We got 200 one week, 200 views, and then we got like 30 the next week. And I was thinking, what happened? And then we went back up to 100. So whether it's robots, whether it's real people, whether it's one person just falling asleep and having the show run over and over and over for like 8 hours, because it could be happening. But yeah, where are you gonna run the music? Should we just sing it?
I don't know how to.
How about we just sing it? I guess.
Me and my uncle.
Went riding down South Colorado. Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
West Texas bound. See you, people. See you week 8.
I'll turn it off.
Okay.